All right, so I'm back again. So there comes a time where we have to ask the question: do we believe this Bible? Yes, a lot of us are waking up as children of Israel, but when we read the Bible, we can't just say we believe in certain things. Do we believe that this is the word of the Most High? Do we believe that we are the children of Israel? Do we believe that what the Most High says? Do we trust in His word? Because if we do, well, then when we go read the Bible and we see the words the Most High comes out of His mouth speaking to His prophets, we should be able to go and find something pertaining to those words happening on the earth. Something simple things, some small things, big things, all things, if we believe in the word of the Most High. So, I'm going to start off with this particular scripture. In it, Joel 3:3, and they have cast lots for my people, and have given a boy for a harlot, and sold a girl for wine, that they might drink. Now, can we find somewhere in history where slaves were sold for wine? Let's go. Correct. Portuguese. Now, we know that the Portuguese and the Spanish were the first ones to start in the Western Hemisphere in the transatlantic slave trade. And it all is a continuation of the Spanish Inquisition. The transatlantic slave trade is a continuation of the Spanish Inquisition, which included Spain and Portugal at the time. We see right here historical facts that the Portuguese slavers traditionally used wine to barter. It says with slaves, but it's to barter for slaves. So they would take bottles of wines to Africa, case of wine to Africa, and they would trade it for slaves, which would include a little girl, a slave girl. And this is not the only example. There's other examples. There's plenty of other examples, but here's just the second one. A triangular voyage, a trade triangle, however, which would include the slave trade, was the triangle slave trade. The triangle trade was the slave trade. But a triangular voyage or trade triangle, however, would involve fully loaded vessels leaving Bordeaux, which is in France. They would arrive on the eastern coast of Africa 6 to 8 weeks later. Upon arrival, the enslavers exchanged the food, clothes, arms, wine, and trinkets for the slaves. So we see examples right here. This is how you know you can trust the word of the Most High, because everything He says, especially through His prophets, He pretty much says everything through His prophets. That's how you read the Bible, to see what the Most High says through His prophets, and then you test those words. And I'm not saying you can test the Most High, but He wants us to. He wants us to have trust in Him. He wants us to understand that what He's saying is true. And we can find examples of His word throughout the earth. The Portuguese, the Spanish, the Dutch, the English, the Americans, the French, all of these people traded wine for slaves. And not just wine, but liquor, rum, trinkets, gold, silver, ivory, whatever they had, cloth. They traded it for slaves, but the Most High specifically pointed out that children of Israel would be traded for wine. And who did it? It was the other Africans. The Most High points them out. It's the Canaanites from the two Canaanite sons, Tyre and Sidon. Their families, their tribes from those lineages are the ones who sold the children of Israel. Now, and we can see right here, and they drave not out the Canaanites that dwell in Gezer, but the Canaanites dwell among the Ephraimites until this day and serve under tribute. Now, this is during the time of Joshua. So the Most High said, He pointed out that we were unable the Israelites were unable to get the Canaanites out. So the Canaanites dwelt in the land along with the Israelites, which is in the land of Africa. Africa is the promised land, not this little speck of land in the Middle East or from Egypt to the Euphrates River, which is in Levant. The Euphrates River that the Most High was speaking of, I believe, is the Niger River today. All the way to the coast, all the way to the Atlantic coast was the land. The Most High told Abraham he was going to give him a broad, wide land, meaning a very large land. So from the river of Egypt, all the way to the west coast of Africa, to the Euphrates, to the Niger River, all the way to the coast, to Atlantic Ocean. That was the land, and it's somewhere, the geographical boundaries have to be. You can look them up for yourself. So the Canaanites were not kicked out of the land, and a lot of Israelites still believe that the place in the Levant is the land, and that we fled into Africa. That's just, I used to believe that, but that's nonsense. Children of Israel were routed out of the land. The Most High said, I'm going to rout you out of this land. He used a slave route to rout us out of the land Africa. Now let's go here. And a lot of people don't particularly pay attention to what this scripture here says. This scripture says a lot just by these few passages. May God extend Japheth's territory. May Japheth live in the tents of Shem, and may Canaan be the slave of Japheth. So what's saying here? What's it saying here? So the Most High, we know Japheth was given the Isles of the Gentiles up in the north, the Northlands. The Most High extended his land, and so he's dwelling in the tents of Shem, which would include Africa. And so wherever Shem is at, Japheth is living and dwelling with us. And then when we think about it on the African continent, there is investors, there is citizens, there is business people, but they dwell in the tents of Shem. Africa is the tents of Shem. So over 1,000 years before Abraham came along, or before Moses, the Shemites were spreading across Africa. The children of Shem, they're all Africans, and they were in Africa, so they were dwelling around in different parts of the land. Africa was not an big empty land by the time the children of Israel got there, and they left out of Egypt. There was a lot of other nations dwelling in that land, and including the Canaanite nations. So when the Most High mentioned the Canaanite nations, there was only 7 of them. It was 7 Canaanite nations. So all the other nations came from Ham and Shem together. And now let's look at this. Now, and it says Canaan will be the slave of Japheth, or Canaan will serve him. So that is the difference that the Most High puts through his people to let us know who is who. The Canaanites have an unnatural craving to serve the Japheth people. You look at these African leaders. Why are they always doing the bidding of the French or the English or the Americans? Look at William Ruto, okay? People like William Ruto and John Muhammad, the president of Ghana, which is real questionable. A lot of them, they'll speak Pan-Africanism, but at the same time, they're serving the interest of Japheth, of the Gentiles. And we've seen quite a few of them come and go, and they're still there. Look at the leader of Ivory Coast and the leader of Gabon, Ali Bongo, who was there before. When the French were about to leave, he said that he went and begged them not to leave. So he wanted the colonizers to stay in his country. This is how the Most High puts a difference. You see the ones of Israelites, you see the people in the Sahel. They're the 3 nations that the Most High is bringing together. The 3 nations, the AES, are the 3 nations, the children of Israel, the descendants of the Egyptians, and the descendants of the Assyrians. Today, they're a family from each of those groups, and that's what the Sahel is. These three nations are going to bring peace on earth. These three nations are going to bring a good thing on earth, because Moses is building them up right now, and a great war is going to come in the Valley of Jehoshaphat. The Valley of Jehoshaphat, like I've already mentioned, is located in northern Nigeria, just across the border from Niger. And this is all tying together. Okay, so the Canaanites, the Most High said they're going to dwell in the tent of Shem. So, they're going to serve Japheth. Japheth is going to dwell in the tent of Shem and the Canaanites. So, whenever the children of Israel were scattered among the nations, the Canaanites were the ones selling us. So, when they say we were selling our own people, that's a lie. We're not selling our own people. It's the children of Canaan selling the children of Israel to the Gentiles. And I think a lot of black people who you may think are Israelites, who have that Canaanite spirit, perhaps that's the reason why. Because Most High says this is their role right here. This is their role right here, is to serve Japheth. The Most High puts a difference between them and us. They have a natural desire to serve their enemies, to serve the Gentiles. Whatever it is that they do, they're for it. If they're against us, they're for it. If they're against the Most High, they're for it. And these are black people. So the Canaanites were the children of Canaan. They're black people just like the children of Israel. And if you can't tell the difference just by looking, you tell the difference in their character and how they act, especially around the Gentiles. Anyway, just thought I'd put this video out there, give you more insight into my beliefs and what I believe. And when you think about it, it's hard to dispute what I'm saying. But anyway, if you like the video, please like, please comment, please subscribe. And if you'd like to support the channel, Cash App is in the description. Thank you.